Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are coming to you live from the workbench, and what do we have here today? This is some vintage 60s cheese fun. This is a 1968 or 69, somewhere in that area, Farfisa Combo Compact Deluxe. This is much like the red ones, except the difference is mainly this section right here, which is your percussion section, and then you notice you have some different colored keys here as well. So you hear that horrible hum coming through our trusted JC120. That is, in fact, this guy right here. This has been sitting unused and unloved for many years. So we're going to dive in and take a look and see what the problems are. Now, you can already hear that hum and noise when all of our tabs are turned off. So we're going to have to recap the power supply. That should clean up a lot of things. Now what we need to do is figure out what else is wrong with it. With these things, there can be lots of things wrong. But since they're all fairly simple, we're going to crack it open and take a look at it. So, alright, we've removed the top, and now we can take a look at the inside. You see a whole bunch of wires and doodads and what have you. Each one of these little cards right here represents a note on the keyboard. See how they are all stacked up inside there. Now, one of the first things that we see right away is that capacitor. A lot of these electrolytic capacitors have a tendency of doing that. That's leaking or exploding. That's bad, but easily repaired. I'm sure there are several capacitors just looking here. We can see some of them don't look too bad. I see a couple have been replaced already. Don't see any big red flags quite yet. You can see there are more capacitors leaking as well. So a lot of these guys are going to need to be replaced. And there's our power supply. So, how do we know what's wrong? Well, let's do a little test. The easiest way to figure out, or at least set a good base start, is start with your highest even numbered tablature. Typically a flute is your best option. So 2 2/3, that's an odd footage. So we'll stick with the 4 foot. Make sure that everything else is off so we're not getting any strange interferences in sound. So 4 foot flute. Start up here at the top of the keyboard. And we have nothing. Why do we have nothing? Oh, I know why we have nothing. We turned our volume down on the amp. Alright, let's try this one more time. We are on there, and nothing. We are getting nothing. Alrighty, we inherited our first problem. Jiggle the cord a little bit. No. Did we get anything? We have nothing. Very large, loud. Alright, well, we'll be back. So, the very first thing that we noticed, no sound. So, start with the easy things. We started with our cable here, and we checked the connections on the inside, and it looked fine. So, follow out the rest of the cable, and we discovered that the cable was taped up. And where did she go? A little difficult trying to do all this all one-handed. There we go. What we've noticed, I'll lay this here. Sorry about all this, guys. I'll lay this down for you. Notice that we have some cracks and breaks on the shielding, the ground of this cable. So the first thing we're going to do before we proceed any further is we're going to repair the cable. And then we'll figure out what is wrong with the rest of this thing. So we'll be back. Okay, so we started out with our 4-foot. We see some of our notes. Some of them aren't working, you know. We got a wrong note there. So that's going to be something in the divider board itself. And we have no sound at all there, so that could be a key contact. It could be broken or dirty. And we're back up here into this upper register, which I think we just might have some dirty contacts. We definitely have dirty contacts. All these contacts will need to be cleaned, but there's a couple of them that just aren't working here. So, moving on down the line, we're going to activate our 8-foot flute, make sure that everything else is still off, and now we have something slightly on that note, but nothing else on the rest of these. Try a different setting and see if it's Alright, so as you can tell, it looks like most of our keys are working. So we got some dirty contacts, but I think all the contacts are actually good. I don't really have any broken contacts, but definitely, as you can hear, it's a little dusty. It's coming back a little bit there. Alright, so, and then if you want to, you can go ahead and just go all the way down and check them all out, but okay, so here we can already see that our D card has a problem. D chord. It's going to be our G. F is a little dirty, and we have nothing on the G up here. So if we go back to flute, and hit that G. So we have a G with our 4-foot flute. And we don't have it down here. So that helps us trace what part of our divider board is our problem. Alright, so we'll be back.